Alright, we are just one more level. I'm Tridrachius.
I'm Pwn Your Mom, X21 Bravo, and I'm sorry I can't be better looking.
Every time. I'm Meatloaf.
Every goddamn time. Okay, well, Bethesda just wrapped up their first ever E3 press conference, and it was actually pretty good.
Epic.
It was amazing. They blew me out of the water, I'm not even gonna lie.
They started off with a huge announcement with Doom.
Looked
my
great.
gosh, I was falling out of the chair happy with Doom. Like, I was expecting it to be, the last reboot of Doom, and I was not impressed with it at all. And then they showed, just beautiful, beautiful game executions, just ripping people's heads off.
We should clarify that. He says beautiful, but what he actually means is that it's
gory as fuck.
Yes, that explains it.
Okay, beautifully rendered. We'll go with that.
That works.
From the get-go with the first-person view, him picking up his helmet, putting on the helmet, and
all the
then
way till the last one, whenever the demon ripped off his arm.
Going straight into gameplay. It wasn't even a cinematic. It was just, the quality of the graphics literally looked like last-gen cinematics. And, in new-gen, just beautiful. Just
fantastic.
Très magnifique.
And of course, they showed the full gambit of the Doom monsters and demons and stuff.
Yeah, in hell.
All the way hell, which is apparently on Mars. Which it seems like Mars is always the center point of anything Doom. But you're going to Mars, you're facing demons, and at the very end of the demo,
we think Satan shows up.
There's this huge fucking demon, and the main character throughout the entire time, he's pulling out all kinds of different guns, and he's just going at it. At the very end, he pulls out the BFG, and it starts charging up, and then it ends right before he shoots it.
I wanted to see it melt face, but I would like to point out that I did not see a pinky in the trailer.
No, we did not at all.
Then that is the bubblegum creature of all Dooms.
But
we saw the bubblegum ball of death.
But we did see the shotguns.
Yes.
Oh my god, the shotguns.
And the upgrades that you could find for the guns, just amazing. And it changes the weapon graphically. And oh man.
Need I sing the chainsaw?
The chainsaw. He was just walking through it,
chopping fools in half.
He was like the Jedi of Mars.
There was demons with energy sword type melee weapons that he was just, I don't fucking care.
Let's not forget about the jetpack demon that just ripped his arm off and beat him to death with it.
Or the fact that your suit itself is a power suit that you can jump with, has some sort of armor ability built into it.
Double jump.
Yeah,
double jump.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
They also talked about multiplayer, which also seemed pretty cool. It's multiplayer.
It looked a lot like Gears of War mixed in with Halo and Call of Duty.
Kind of a horde mode as well.
But they added that new snap. What was it? Snap map.
Snap map.
Snap map. You can create and upload your own maps, your own game modes to fit your playstyle.
Right now,
everything.
You can share them with people via, the online services that whatever PS Plus.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And that just blew my mind.
And with that, they also included the Bethesda Net, which is just like what you were saying with sharing it, only it's the app, the actual app that it's connected to everything Bethesda is doing. From Wolfenstein to, Fallout to Doom to Quake, whenever they decide they're going to release that, which they said that there are other games that are coming out.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was actually the board behind them had all the games for id and Bethesda, and they covered everything, but the Quake symbol was back there, and they didn't say anything about it. So we might possibly have a remake of Quake in the near future.
Hopefully.
Or a new title or whatever it could be. But they transitioned from Doom to a slightly weaker title. Battlecry.
It's basically...
It looks promising.
Yeah, it's Bethesda's version of Team Fortress.
I'm going to say I honestly wasn't that impressed. And maybe it's because it's only an alpha right now, and they're opening up a beta for anybody that signs up for the alpha.
Available now through tomorrow.
Battlecrythegame.com.
Just the graphics, the gameplay, it just didn't grab me. It didn't, I've been playing Smite, so I'm very familiar with the
squad based.
Exactly, and I wasn't impressed.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of summed it up pretty well. It's their version of Team Fortress.
But it's
Which-
meant to be encompass countries.
Yes.
From what we've seen, there's representation of different countries. I know the cinematic trailer when it originally came out, it was like Austria-Hungary, like from World War I, World War II type clothing, and it had like ancient Chinese dynasty where they were wearing, like jade armor or something oriental. And then you had like modern military for the U.S. There was a lot of different skins, so it looks kind of like it's going to play out like a MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
It could. We don't know anything about it yet. We only saw the cinematic. So
Yeah. So it looks promising. There's most likely going to be a lot to it. Bethesda does pretty good with all their different stuff. Kind of transitioning from that, the guys at Arcane Studios, they came out on stage, and this is where the blunder happened. A couple days ago, this was where the rehearsal was kind of leaked out of the Dishonored 2 unveiling. But there's still some very good information. New playable character.
yeah, it could be male or female.
Yeah.
Possibly dual storylines, or like we talked about, separate storylines.
Yes. They could just
Which
intertwine.
would definitely increase the replay value, and
Yes.
that's hard to do in today's modern gaming.
Yeah, because for the most part, I mean, they could just intertwine and have just a single ending.
Yes.
But it would be pretty cool if they actually had a different ending based on the character that you went as.
Now, I do want to say that with the E3 Dishonored 2 reveal, I was kind of disappointed that there was no actual gameplay footage.
Yeah.
It was all cinematic.
But with the cinematic, didn't mean to cut you off. I know we keep doing that. With the cinematic that we had, you found two characters. One, the woman seemed very in tune with the powers that you were able to play with from Dishonored 1. The second character that it only showed briefly, like a couple times.
Yeah, he
but
picked up the.
yeah, he picked up the mask at the very end. Was like the only time you really saw him.
Yeah.
I think he may be a descendant of whoever the first guy was, and I think the female may actually be the princess from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's just me speculating.
And they did explain that each character is going to have their unique abilities, their unique equipment to use, and so like I said, that's really going to up the replay value.
Yes. And of course, it couldn't be Bethesda without them talking about Elder Scrolls. So they transitioned to Elder Scrolls Online, some new content hitting Elder Scrolls, plus they talked about it hitting consoles.
The Imperial City and the
Or something.
the
Or
Orc Village or town, something.
They transitioned to announcing an Elder Scrolls card game,
A strategy card game.
which
yeah.
looks just like Magic, just digital.
yeah, it was definitely a ripoff of the Planeswalkers. And again, they showed no gameplay. It was just kind of a teaser
like a
intro
graphic novel type
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely something that we're gonna have to be on the lookout for because they really gave us nothing with that.
Which, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, with the fact that just like 5 days ago, Elder Scrolls Online hit consoles, they can't really announce like new expansion packs or anything like that. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird that they kind of use that as a segue to announce a card game. I mean, the biggest announcement going out of their
Scrolls,
blunder
yeah.
with Elder Scrolls was the obvious more information about the badass looking Fallout 4.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying
Which
now,
surprised everyone.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it as soon as I get my paycheck
Yeah,
tomorrow.
the Pip-Boy version. Come on,
There's a collector's version. where you
Oh
can
my
put-
goodness! I would
put your
store
phone
that
in there.
just to have my phone on me at all times
Now,
and
granted,
just looking like a
it's
badass.
probably
walking
going to be
around.
kind of.
I don't care.
it
I
might
don't
start
care
kinda
if it's
getting-
like 40 fucking pounds. I'm wearing that.
This
shit.
arm will be buff.
I will be super excited if you can play the games, like inside the game.
That's like the
Oh
atomic.
yeah, atomic missile or something.
I think
Atomic,
we should probably get into
Red
the
atomic
rest.
defender. Atomic defender.
I think we should
Yeah.
actually get into the rest of Fallout before we kind of spoil that for
Oh,
people
yeah.
that haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, true. With Fallout 4, there is confirmation that it takes place in Boston.
Yes.
So brand new city.
and they confirmed the release date.
Yes. Which, when they revealed the release date, no one really knew it because they revealed it with their next app that they announced. But the thing is, it takes place in Boston. It also starts before the apocalypse actually kicks off.
So potentially before even the first Fallout game from
Long
back
time
in the
ago.
day.
And
Long time
somehow
ago.
the main character gets into Vault 111 and time progresses 200 years.
Yes.
Without a whole lot of information. They didn't spoil a lot, which was great. I'm completely happy.
Which they were talking about all kinds of stuff, and all of a sudden it goes back to the stage. It's like, okay, and now we're not going to talk anything about the actual story or anything like that. And people, like the crowd was like, oh, is that it? That's all you're gonna? And of course, transition to the Fallout Shelter app that they also announced.
So let's talk about all the customizable.
Boom! Apple.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all the customizable options in Fallout. We have the mech suit. We have
Mech suit.
you can build cities.
Iron Man.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Mark 1 Iron Man. It's don't get too excited.
But you can
it's still
upgrade
awesome.
it. You can upgrade it.
You can upgrade it.
To where it follows you.
You'll be able to build cities. You'll be able to build your own weapons. I mean,
Yes.
just
Fully customizable.
he was saying something like 700. There's 3 or 4 different parts and 700 options on each. So I mean, it's almost like Borderlands
Yes.
esque.
esque for weapon customization. But you build your own.
Yeah, like you make your own weapon. You can make your own weapons. You can make your own mech. You can customize everything, and it plays. I don't know if it plays into the app or anything.
I don't believe it plays into the app. Maybe Shelter has some sort of hidden thing. They didn't really talk a lot about it, except for the fact that some cool things happen, like you can get inhabitants. Sometimes raiders will come, and then you can build from it.
Yes.
They didn't really release anything else besides that.
And I thought that was a really cool add-on was building your cities, and you have to defend your cities because the raiders are going to come.
Yes.
And there were so many cool options that they showed. I mean, you could build traps, turrets, sentry.
Yes.
It was just
It was amazing.
It's ridiculous what all that they came up with.
Yeah, they talked about it being dynamic, and it just works.
And it
You connect it to generators and all that kind of stuff, and it just goes. It just does its thing.
And it looks graphically astounding.
Yes.
I mean, they're almost doing right with the hair for once. So excited! I know that's kind of my whole big issue.
Their hair was awesome, but I would like to say some of the character models, I was kind of like.
Well, the thing with the character model is, like he said whenever he was showing it, for those of you who didn't get to watch Bethesda Conference and probably will after tonight since it'll be uploaded everywhere, you literally create the mother and the father, or you create the protagonist and the protagonist's wife out of what you have when you first start. You can make him any ethnicity. You can change his nose, jaws, mouth, eyes, ears, everything. There's literally everything.
The main character model is fine. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But like the guy it showed walking up to the door, honestly, his lips
Ugly.
were not moving with what he was saying.
It's always been a thing though with Bethesda's games.
right. And
Yeah.
I mean, from next gen, I think they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, there was a few character models, like the dude that just walked up, his lips weren't really synced up. They still have a couple months to kind of iron out that stuff, but for a game that's coming out this year, November 10th,
That they've been working on for
since 2009,
6 years now.
since the end of Fallout 3, which, again, as we also kind of talked about, means that Bethesda had absolutely nothing to do with New Vegas.
So for everyone out there who's hating on it because of New Vegas, get the panties out of your ass. They're too far up there. Time to get them out.
There are creams and ointments for chafing created by
Yes.
thongs, I'm sure.
Having said that,
Yes,
I do
for
love New Vegas with a passion.
It's bad.
You're one of
But
those
the
people.
thing is, what we're looking at
I liked
is
it too.
this was a
Go for $5.
good conference. It was a good conference, solid. I don't know if they're going to do another one. I don't know. It's possible they could do another E3 next year. But for their first conference and potentially their last,
Could be.
good job.
I was
Grand
blown
job.
away. Like, especially just Doom, man. The first like 5 minutes straight of Doom gameplay had me just
Drooling.
Yes.
mind blown. I mean,
It was awesome.
Fantastic.
High octane,
fantastic.
entertaining. The people on stage looked like they were enjoying being on
Yes.
stage. It didn't feel like, I mean, yes, it's scripted, but it didn't feel like it was scripted.
Except for the French guy and the guy who
Yeah.
basically the two guys that did Dishonored. They seemed like they were really
And
uncomfortable.
I feel
being
sorry
on
for the guy that had to stay past hours at Bethesda to to talk about Elder Scrolls Online. I
Yes.
feel you, bro. I feel you.
Yeah, because like.